runs the console out in the shop that goes, it's on 24/7. I shut that off, figure maybe one of the switching supplies developed a problem. I went through that whole scenario. Even, think it was something here in the shack. But who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men. Shadow do. KG2IR.
The houses here where I live, my neighbor's house is, my one neighbor is about 10 feet. The edge of their house is about 10 feet from the one side of my house. It's very close, and I live here in the city. And I was dealing with a switching power supply coming from one neighbor that was 2 houses down. Probably about 100 feet or so from the one leg of my antenna. Maybe a little less, and it was blowing up the entire AM broadcast band, 160 and 75 meters, and it ended up being a little power supply for a video game camera. Dance around and pick you up. And anyway, there was the power source for that. And then I just bought my other neighbor on the other side of me, the one that's about 10 feet away. I just bought her a new 55-inch television because I was getting plasma television interference every 50 kcs up and down the band, and it was hellacious buzz that would wipe out 3875 up to about 3884, 82, 83, 3882, and I couldn't take it anymore. It would get so bad sometimes, and the ambient noise floor would be over 10 over 9. So I ended up tracking it down. Called the power company out just to so the neighbor would give her a little bit of a feeling of what it was. I tried to educate her on it. She wasn't really that accepting at first, but after about a month of trying and dropping off pamphlets on RFI and so on and so forth, she finally agreed and bought her new television. I haven't dealt with it since. So right now my ambient noise floor is about an S9, maybe a little bit below, about minus 74 to 75 dBm. And this is the lowest it's been in 3 years here. So, but there's still, switching power supply noises up and down the band, random spots. But I'd be chasing noise sources here until I was 50. It's just where I am and the way things are nowadays. W3MMR.
That is a high noise floor. Amazing.
Your hands full. My noise floor is usually S0 at this time of day. And a lot of you guys come in about S3, S4. In fact, that's about what you're doing up at Steve's, looking at his meter. But yeah, it's probably something like that, a switching power supply, because I noticed that a number of those pieces, electronics that use switching power supplies, have a fundamental switching. Well, no, it's a harmonic, I believe, up around 75, 80 meters. Not uncommon. I've never had any here. In fact, I operate all kinds of stuff here. This R390A is pretty noisy. I even turned on my 51S1. That's hearing the same thing. I haven't turned on the connections outside in the back shop, but I got to just get a handheld receiver and try to figure out where it's coming from. People buy things, throw out things, and they don't know. And I don't think this is a electric company related noise. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is. It's got too much of a time constant to it. Sounds like something that runs, you know, it's an oscillating frequency, a square wave or whatever. Well, it's harmonics generating that interference. And not to change the subject, but I want to talk a little bit about Howie WF2Q. I got the official okie dokie. I knew it was coming, but I didn't want to say anything until Andrea, is Howie's wife, and I had a conversation. So I'm putting the word out. He's got quite a great collection of radios, all kinds of vintage stuff, and really high quality audiophile style audio equipment and speakers, including Julius Futterman's amplifiers, which are working. That's what his 2 channels are for power, feeding electrostatic speakers, and he's got Revels. He's got all kinds of stuff, you know, really high quality turntables. And I got to find homes for all that stuff. I'm not going to do it on eBay, and I'm not going to take this stuff to a ham radio show and sit there, a ham radio flea market, and sit there with a table or two, because he's got a lot of stuff. Anyway, I'll go through it a little more detail, but I don't know whether I'll put a list out or have a discussion. Anybody who's interested in any vintage radios, probably Howie's had it or has it, because I worked on a lot of them, and they're up for sale. KG2IR.
Hey, Nick.